of eerie knocks on doors, phantom footsteps on the stairs, and a sorrowful nun who appeared at the windows.
On a lonely stretch of the English countryside once stood a place that became legendary for fear and mystery.
On a lonely stretch of the English countryside once stood a place that became legendary for fear and mystery. This was Borley Rectory, often called the most haunted house in Britain. Built in the year 1862 in Essex, it was designed as a large Victorian rectory for the parish family. But soon after its completion, strange tales began to spread. Villagers whispered of unexplained footsteps, ghostly figures crossing gardens, and a phantom nun who walked silently in the moonlight. The rectory's corridors echoed with mysterious knocks and footsteps when no one was there. Windows revealed fleeting shadows, and some swore they saw a spectral coach racing down a nearby lane, pulled by horses that did not exist. The atmosphere of the house grew heavier with every story, until its reputation reached far beyond the quiet village of Borley. In the 1920s and 30s, paranormal investigator Harry Price brought Borley Rectory into the spotlight. He recorded chilling accounts, writing appearing on walls as if by invisible hands, objects moving on their own, and sudden cold spots that froze the air in specific rooms. Witnesses described voices calling their names in empty halls, and lights flickering when no lamp had been lit. Price's reports captured the public imagination, turning Borley into a symbol of the supernatural. Yet not everyone was convinced. Skeptics argued that many of the so-called hauntings were tricks of the mind, exaggerations, or even deliberate hoaxes. Some claimed that the house's unsettling reputation grew larger because people wanted to believe. But believers held firm, pointing to the sheer number of testimonies collected over decades. For them, Borley Rectory was undeniable proof that some places simply refused to rest in peace. In 1939, tragedy struck when fire consumed much of the building, leaving it a shell of its former self. A few years later, the remains were demolished, and today only the foundations survive. Yet even in ruins, the legend of Borley lives on. Books, articles, and countless retellings have kept its ghost stories alive, and the site is still visited by those seeking a brush with the unknown. Whether one sees it as the greatest paranormal mystery in England, or as a tale magnified by rumor and imagination, Borley Rectory continues to cast its shadow. It reminds us that history and folklore often walk side by side, and that in certain places, the past may never truly let go.
If you enjoyed this haunting story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so you never miss the next mystery.